Looking for a crochet pattern that's quick, easy, and works for almost any project? Whether it's a cozy blanket, a stylish scarf, or a cute bag, this pattern is a game changer. Let's jump right in. Materials needed: a 3.5mm crochet hook. Soft yarn of your choice. I'm using a baby pink color for this tutorial. Step 1. Start with a slip knot. First, make a slip knot on your hook. If you're new to this, don't worry. It's as simple as making a loop and pulling the yarn through. Crochet is like a form of meditation for me. Loop by loop, all the stress just melts away. Now, for this pattern, chain a length that is a multiple of 2, then add 1 extra chain to the total. This gives us the perfect base for the stitches. I don't know about you, but I find the rhythm of crocheting so soothing. Step 2. Foundation row. Skip the first 3 chains. Make a double crochet in the 4th chain from your hook. This starts to build our foundation. Continue making double crochets into each chain across. This row sets the stage for the entire pattern. Did you know? Crocheting was originally used to create intricate lace patterns in the 1800s. Isn't it satisfying watching the stitches come together? It's like magic, one loop at a time. Crocheting is such a calming activity, perfect for unwinding after a long day. Remember, there's no such thing as a mistake in crochet, only unique designs. By the way, this pattern works wonderfully with ombre or gradient yarns. The results are stunning. A quick tip: keep your tension, even for a more polished look. At the end of the row, chain 1 and turn your work. Step 3. Row 2. The star stitch. Here's where the magic happens. Yarn over and insert your hook into the first stitch. Every stitch is a step closer to creating something beautiful. It's like watching art come to life. Pull up a loop, yarn over and insert your hook into the second stitch. Pull up another loop. You should now have 5 loops on your hook. Yarn over and pull through all 5 loops. This creates the star cluster. Make a slip stitch into the next stitch to anchor it. Repeat, yarn over, pull up a loop from the same stitch. Do you have a favorite type of yarn? I'd love to hear your recommendations. Then yarn over and pull up a loop from the next stitch. Have you tried this pattern before, or is it new for you? Let me know how it turns out. Pull through all loops. If you're crocheting along, you're doing amazing. Don't worry if it's not perfect. Practice makes progress. Take your time with each stitch. The beauty of crochet is in the journey, not just the finished project. Don't forget to take breaks. Your hands deserve some love too. Continue this pattern across the row. Fun fact, the word crochet comes from the French word meaning hook. This stitch pattern is sometimes called the star stitch because of its beautiful, star-like texture. The star stitch gives your project such a unique, textured look. It's one of my favorites. This wave pattern adds a lovely flow to your project, almost like ripples in water. Combining these 2 stitches creates such a versatile fabric, great for so many projects. I always keep a small crochet project in my bag, perfect for when I'm waiting or need a moment to relax. I actually used this pattern to make a gift for a friend. They absolutely loved it. The baby pink yarn I'm using here reminds me of springtime, so fresh and cheerful. When I first learned this pattern, I couldn't stop. Everything I made had this texture. When you reach the end, make a single crochet in the last stitch to secure the row. If you're finding the tension tricky, try relaxing your hands a bit. It makes a big difference. Chain 3 and turn your work. Step 4, row 3, the wave pattern. Don't be afraid to experiment with different hook sizes to see how it changes the texture. Skip the first 2 stitches. In the 3rd stitch, make 2 double crochets. A little tip: if you're working on a big project, use stitch markers to track your rows. Even if you're new to crochet, remember, every expert was a beginner once. You're creating something with your own hands, and that's always worth celebrating. Skip the next stitch, and in the following stitch, make 2 more double crochets. Mistakes happen, just pull the stitch out and try again. It's all part of the process. Watching the pattern grow row by row is one of my favorite parts of crocheting. Repeat this wave-like pattern all the way across the row. It's amazing how such simple loops can create such intricate designs, isn't it? Every project has its own rhythm. This one feels so smooth and satisfying to work on. What projects are you planning to use this pattern for? Let me know in the comments. Do you prefer working with lighter yarns like this or chunkier ones for faster projects? Have you tried mixing and matching different stitches in your projects? I'd love to hear your ideas. Don't rush, crochet is meant to be relaxing. Enjoy the process, one stitch at a time. Remember, every stitch you make adds to the masterpiece you're creating. If you're a beginner, you're doing great. Just keep going, it gets easier with practice. If you're anything like me, you'll start one project and then suddenly have 5 more in progress. At the end of the row, make a double crochet into the last stitch to keep things tidy. Raise your hand if your yarn stash keeps growing faster than your projects. Chain 1 and turn your work. Step 5, row 4. Back to stars. For row 4, go back to the star stitch pattern from row 2. Yarn over, pull up loops from consecutive stitches, and pull through all loops. The hardest part of crochet? Deciding which color to use first. This pattern is so versatile. You can use it for blankets, scarves, bags, you name it. The texture we're creating here has such a soft, cozy feel. It's perfect for baby blankets. If your stitches feel too tight, try loosening your grip on the yarn. It makes a big difference. Using a slightly larger hook can give a softer, drapier fabric if that's the look you're going for. If you're struggling to see your stitches, try using a lighter colored yarn. This stitch is not just beautiful, it's also super sturdy, great for items like tote bags. Pro tip, if you're switching colors, try weaving in the ends as you go to save time later. If your stitches feel too tight, try using a slightly larger hook. Small changes make a big difference. Continue this across the row, ending with a single crochet in the last stitch. For beginners, it helps to count your stitches every few rows to stay on track. Chain 3 and turn your work. Step 6. Repeat rows 3 and 4. Now it's time to repeat. Alternate between the wave pattern, row 3, and the star pattern, row 4, until you reach your desired length. And there you have it. This gorgeous texture works beautifully for all kinds of projects. Once you've reached your desired length, simply finish off and weave in the ends. Happy crocheting, and see you in the next video.